would love to just hear about, again, very practical steps that someone can take as they're watching this. Maybe they're identifying certain flags and stuff that they're seeing in their situation or how they're feeling. What should they do?
I think the most important thing is having somebody that you can talk to. Now, this is hard because you don't want to overburden friends and family. This is something I definitely did that I fault myself for in the past, is I leaned on my friends too much when I should have been getting professional help. So maybe open up to a couple friends first to some degree, have a barrier, healthy barrier, over which you don't, make it their whole life problem too.
Sure, yeah.
Get help. I think sitting down with a therapist, I remember emailing therapists when I was in my senior year of college. And I literally remember emailing, I was like, hi, I think I have a trauma bond with somebody and I don't know how to get out of it. I think it's unhealthy, but I don't know what to call it. And so you don't even have to go and saying, oh, this is emotional abuse or toxic. It took me a year of therapy to say those words confidently.
It takes a long time.
Because I felt guilt and shame. And, and also I, as a side note, I'm somebody that like has the opposite of victim complex. Like I never want to be the victim. It makes me feel icky.
Right.
So just doing that. So I think getting help. I think also just trying to have discussions with your partner to whatever extent is possible in your relationship. In some relationships, it's not really an option. I recognize that. But see if they're feeling it too, right? See if this feeling is mutual or if what their reaction is. It doesn't hurt. But ultimately, this is an individual journey. So this isn't something you can do with your partner, but it's okay to bring it to light and see if there's any room for like at least acknowledgement maybe sometimes. Beyond that, go to therapy, get help. I honestly really the biggest thing is just sort of having an escape plan, right?
Yes.
So you need to have a plan, even if you're not ready to call upon it. I remember for a long time in my trunk, I had all of my partner's belongings and I was like, I'm ready to leave. Whenever the day comes, I'm ready to leave. I'm going to give these back so I never have to see this person again. Yes. I know it's more difficult in the context of marriage.
Marriage is difficult, yeah.
When there's you're intertwined financially, maybe like passports and stuff like that.
Yes.
So that's a different thing that I can't speak to at this point in my life in my 20s.
Yeah.
But have an escape plan. When you're ready, you'll know that you're ready. So whether it means like going to stay with a friend, right? Going back to your parents' home, right? Setting up a situation where you can maybe get a different job so you're not like financially tied to that person. Yeah. And taking baby steps to free yourself so that when you're emotionally ready to let go, you can. And I think ultimately just be kind to yourself. Yeah. Because like you said, with the statistic that blew my mind, it takes 7 times, right? On average.
7 times.
It's okay if you leave and you go back, you leave and you go back. That's part of the cycle. But just, I implore you to dare to believe that there's better for you out there. Just you really have to believe. And of course, like for me, at the time where I was exiting the situation, I was moving to New York. So if there's a prospect of establishing a new routine and a new life unaffiliated with, this partner, I would definitely recommend that.
Yeah. Separate bank accounts is the other one.
Yes.
If your bank accounts are intertwined, then making sure they're separated. You have separate modes of transportation.
Yeah.
All of that is like super important.
Yeah.
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 Awesome. Thank you so much
for
sitting down with us. I know this was a quick deep dive, but it was super, super important. And you opened up so much about things that you may have gone through. And so I appreciate it. And I'm sure anyone watching that is experiencing this is going to appreciate it too.
Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your experiences. And if there's anybody listening that can relate to anything that we talked about, I really encourage you to take a step back and reflect on the situation that you're in and see if there's any actionable plan to get out. Nitasha explained a very beautiful logistical roadmap of how she escaped her marriage. But also for any of you that are listening, if there's anyone that you can talk to, friend, family member, seeking professional help and guidance, remember, it's not easy to escape these situations. And just like the statistics she shared, you hardly ever get out on the first time. Sometimes it takes 7. But anyways, thank you all so much for tuning in to this very special, unique kind of form of Spotlight with Sandalina. And I'll see you at the next episode. Bye.